Hey guys, this is Alex from 4C Trading, and today I got some recommendations to check out Civic coin, and I'm gonna be checking out it on Binance Exchange. And yes, I mean, so far from, back from 2019 and all the way up to 2020, the chart was pretty boring. It wasn't nothing really much happening on Binance. It was just going sideways. But then early November, it met us with a 500% pumps. It was quite hectic for this coin. It started to move quite a bit. Now, when I'm looking at this coin, it is doing some sort of a moves that we already explained the last time when we said how this altcoins really operate during the bull market, right? But before bull, you can see that when it pumped, it usually went a little bit deeper, right? It did retrace for around 50%, which is totally normal, and still being able to retain bullish. And here around, after this pump happened, it actually retraced all the way to the bottom, 100%, which is a pretty deep test before pumping forward, right? And again, after you pump forward, you retested it down here quite deep as well. But now, since it's bull market, you can see that the stance on it changed just a little bit, right? Because the last pump you only had a pullback to about the previous stop, and this is something we will be aiming today at it again, right? We will be aiming that this coin will retrace all the way down to the previous top, and we will try to capture a good trade on it with a decent R ratio, right? And not only decent R ratio, well, it's going to be a decent percentage as well. So it's going to be all around the trade, and it's going to be really, it's probably going to be real juicy, right? We will see numbers in a bit, but now let's just see where the entry could have been, right? So what we've seen from the previous price action, or should I say from the previous structure that has slowly formed here, right? I mean, it did take a while, but for crypto still, that is pretty darn fast for real markets. So now we can see that our entry should be located around here, because that was the previous top before this token pumped, right? And now, observing from this previous price action, we can actually have a pretty good guess that is most likely going to tag the previous top, right here. It's mostly gonna test it and before moving higher, right? So now we will use this previous top to set up a trade on it and actually see how far does it still need to get to us in order to fill this position in. So now we will be putting an entry right down the middle, and again, we are mostly doing 3 entries from the top, middle, and the bottom, right? And you can see our entries and all of the prices that we are going to be discussing today on the right side of my screen, right? So you can see it right here, and you can see the entry is going to be at around 29 cents, around the 29 cents mark. So now let's see what kind of stop loss are we really talking about, right? So the kind of real stop loss where I would really feel safe in this case, it is gonna be a fat one. It is gonna be a 20%, right? And even though if I go down to a little bit lower time frame, let me see if I can make it a little bit of a decision. Yeah, I will most likely have to keep it right here. So if the stop loss is going to be that fat indeed, I'm going to make the box a little bit bigger, because then essentially I want to level out the buy area as well, right? I mean, a deeper stop loss, I want to level it out as well. But that doesn't mean the reward that we are going to be actually going for is not going to be absolutely massive, because, seeing this price action, we will most likely have a deep retest after a continuation here, right? We will assume a continuation of the trend, and thus we will probably get a very far profit take. So now I'm gonna be setting this right down below. Let me see a little bit right here. I'm not gonna be putting it right down below. Let me just see where the bigs are. Yes, I'm gonna be putting it like this, and we got around 18% stop loss with the buys, as you say, divided in this giant box for now, right? So for now, Civic price would still have to come down for about 30% before we get filled, right? A little bit less, actually 28% before we get filled. Now, you could be zooming in right here and possibly finding a smaller time frame trade here, but due to the price action, and I checked this before I started recording, so that I don't waste too much time. It's actually seen as, it didn't really gain anything to the left side on a small time frame, so it would be way too dangerous for me right now to indulge any of this trade, right? It is a little bit overextended, and thus I need to wait for it to do something like this, because right now you can still hold this bottom, right? You can still hold it and then gain something to the left side, and that would be my signal to get in the trade. But as it stands right now with this current price action, and when the video is going to be uploaded, this is not going to be a valuable option yet, but this can be a valuable option in about 2 to 3 days. So if you are willing to wait for that as well, I mean to get into trades because you don't want to miss it, because you're super bullish on Civic, then use this option that I've painted right here above, and and just hopefully it's going to play out because that's essentially the whole part of this, what we are looking for this to begin with, right? So yes, going in, we have a perfect fill spot, we have everything that we need. Now what we're gonna do, you've already guessed it, since I already said on a smaller time frame trade, this is the sort of area that you need to hold for you to continue going higher and finding a trade on a smaller time frame. So if this is the area you need to hold, then essentially when you come all the way down here, fill the position, well obviously this is going to be an area you will have to break in order to continue with the trend. And if you have to break this area, well, you know it, we will have to obviously take profit takes on it, right? That is logical when it comes to that sense. So now if I put it right underneath the box, as we usually do, sometimes we do it on the middle, this time around we are at the bottom of the resistance, so I will be putting it at the bottom. You can see that we are hit by 40%, 2.2R or 39 cents actually, sorry, 39 cents to begin with. And you can see already first profit take to have it at 40%, that is pretty sick, right? Even though we have a little bit of a fatter stop loss, 40% profit take takes care of it at all. Now for the second profit take, we have nothing, right? We have nothing to the left side of the chart, right? And at that point, if we gain this area, we will assume that trend is going to continue it, right? Now you have multiple options, right? Option number one, you do a profit take right at the top because this is where you think it's going to go next and it's going to retest before it goes higher, right? That's option number one. And if you do that, you will be landing yourself at almost 100%. So you're almost potentially doubling up 56 cents or 5.4R. Now obviously this is a position, if you want to play it safe, you're taking the profit take here. But if you're assuming that now, because we gained back over this area after still retaining the previous high that was created by this pump, you can actually assume that the price would go higher. So what I'm thinking, right, is the price can essentially go higher and break the new grounds of a new high, right? If you're going to go for the second option, which in case the, holding the token after it meets new high, that is the second option in this case. If you're going to go with the second option, you're going to have to move the stop loss accordingly, right? So once you break this top right here, once you break this top, you will be able to put your stop loss around this area, right? You will be able to put it around this area. So you can see, right? The token can come all the way back down again if you don't wish to TP here, but you're also gonna have to watch for price action. As it starts doing a little bit of a sideways and starts to struggle like it did here, then you will obviously have to sell some of the position as well. So yes, if you wish to be active in trading and you wish to be following or if you have time to follow the chart all day long, go for option number two because it's definitely more profitable. But if you're kind of guy who just sets a trade and sets his TPs and doesn't look much at the market at these days because you're clearly busy with other things, then I suggest putting these two targets, waiting it for it to break, and then refilling it back on the same spot that we begin to, right? And now I'm going to do this, and yeah, this is basically the two options you have, right? Obviously I cannot tell you significantly right now where to move stop loss yet if that happens, because I would have to obviously see the structure that it's gonna unveil on the way up, and then I would be able to kind of assume where the stop loss is going to be placed. But for now that is unable. So yes, if you guys do go for the second option, you can ask me during the stream and I will tell you accordingly how to move stop loss. And we do streams every Tuesday at exactly 4 p.m. UTC, so you're most welcome to join us as well. And also please do subscribe to our channel, right? We do these videos every day except on Sunday, and we try to be really consistent with it. We're kind of back to our old uploading schedule right now, so you should be expecting more of these videos in the future. And also check out our 4C blog channel where we post analysis videos and general stuff that helps traders out, or actually we also have bots that do trade for you as well if you don't want to be sitting in front of a computer like we do. But anyways, check us out, guys. We are welcoming you to our website. And yes, thank you for watching, guys, and see you on the next one.